In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what documentation you will need to provide to your lender in order for you to secure additional money for PPP Round 3. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am your host, Leo Landaverde, outsourced CFO and commercial lender, helping you scale your business. If you are ready to grow your business to 7 figures and beyond while creating the financial freedom and the lifestyle you want, then don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe to my channel so you're notified every time a new video comes out.
Hey everybody, 2 weeks ago on December 22nd, I released a video called PPP Round 3, Get It Before It's Gone, that had a lot of traction. A lot of you tuned in to watch it, which I'm grateful for. This is a follow-up video on what has happened since then. A lot has happened. In fact, today is January 8th. Yesterday, the SBA issued 2 interim final regulations, also known as IFRs, giving greater detail as to what's going to happen on regarding PPP Round 3 and what you need to do to take advantage of it. The purpose of this video is basically to tell you how you will qualify and what you will need to do in order to secure the funds that you need. It doesn't matter whether you got EIDLs before. It doesn't matter whether you got a PPP loan before. This is kind of where it is. Now, you have 2 choices. You're either going to read the 82 pages in one of the documents, which I actually took the time to read yesterday, and I highlighted some things you can do on your own. I'll be sharing the links to where these articles are in the notes section of the video. Also, there's another 42-page document, so you have 120 pages worth of stuff. So I'm going to do my best to summarize it and to help you so you can get exactly what you need. So I want to thank my friend Alisa White, who took the time to digest this information, basically read all of it and put together this email, which I'm going to go over. So thank you, Alisa, for that. You make my life so much easier. And for those of you who are watching as well. So here's what you need to know. The eligibility requirements, unlike the first round of the PPP, the second round includes some additional eligibility requirements. The company must have 300 or less employees. The company must have used the entire amount of the first PPP loan or will use such amounts. So that means that you don't have to have used it all so long as you will use it. That's the key thing. The company, and this is different than the last time around, the company must have gross receipts that were, in either Q1, Q2, Q3, or the whole year of 2020 that were at least 25% less than the respective quarter in 2019. And the SBA went into great detail with multiple examples to make it abundantly clear what a 25% reduction in revenue is. You call it reduction, you could gross receipts or sales. You must have a reduction in sales or revenue equal to 25% in any given quarter in 2020 as compared to 2019. So if you were not in operation in 2019, so long as you were in operation by February 15, 2020. So that's important to know. The amount of the funds in this round are not to exceed $2 million per applicant. And the calculation is still based on 2.5 times your monthly payroll. However, this has been expanded to 3.5 times your monthly payroll if you are in the hospitality industry, those who have been the hardest hits, like restaurants and hotels and anybody who is actually servicing in the hospitality industry. Those get 3.5 times. You get to have either the 8 weeks coverage period or expanded to 24 weeks. You get to choose which one you want. This new round allows you to choose either length. There's been some expansion on the use of PPP funds. The allowable use of PPP funds for this second round has been expanded to include not just payroll, rent, and cover mortgage and interest and utilities from the prior round, but you can also include general operation and supplier costs. The biggest change that it has been passed is that into law that the proceeds are tax deductible. Both proceeds of round 1, round 2, and now round 3 are tax deductibles. You need to work closely with your tax preparer to make sure that that happens. This is a huge reversal, and from the last regulation that they have, which wasn't abundantly clear whether you got a loan outside of the PPP and outside of this crisis. Anytime you have a loan forgiven, turns into income, not with the PPP money. It's please hear this. It is not, will not turn into income for you. You will not pay taxes on it. There are other changes. You will not longer if you got an emergency disaster relief loan, in a lot of you got the $10,000 basically grant for free. None of that will matter in the reduction of your PPP forgiveness for either round. And there's a whole lot more. I'll be happy to share these things that goes into a lot of detail. Here's really what I need to get out of this video. People have been asking me, Leo, what is it that I'm going to need to prepare? Oh, one thing before I get into that. As of today, January 8th, according to the SBA, only community banks will be able to take the first round of PPP applicants. Those of you who did not take PPP money ever before. If you're working with a community bank, you will be able to do so on Monday or Tuesday. So if you're looking at your calendar, today is the 8th. So we're looking at the 11th and the 12th, January 11th and January 12th. For the second round of PPP, community banks will be able to Wednesday and Thursday. Now, the good news for those of you who need my help, I have paired up with a large servicer and lender that is not a community bank, which this regulation will not apply to. So if you already applied with me and you already received your portal access, then we will be competing hand in hand. We'll be competing with, so there's no delay for you. So please comment below and let me know. Feel free to reach out to me. You have my contact information as well. So it's important that you hear that there will not be any delays if you're working with somebody who is not a community bank. These rules only apply to FDIC insured lending institutions, your community banks and your large banks. So don't be going to Bank of America or Citibank because they will not be able to do anything. So on to the documents that you most likely will need to provide in order to secure a forgiveness. Now keep in mind that if you're getting $150,000 PPP loan or under, you will probably need to just do an attestation of your revenue loss, etc. But if the important thing is, you will have to prove that those things, the reduction, later. So please don't be cavalier about it if you have truly experienced revenue deduction. So to support your revenue deductions, financials and bank statements to help support this, 25% reduction quarter over quarter in any quarter in 2020 as compared to 2019. Best to show is your quarterly P&L comparison. So if you're, a lot of my clients work with QuickBooks, whether it's QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. Either one, you can actually pull a quarter comparison. So you can go to April 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2020, and you can click on the report section and you can compare to the prior period quarter, and it should be able to look side by side the two quarters for you to be able to verify that you have a 25% reduction. I did this asset test with many of my clients. So long as you have one quarter that has a 25% reduction over the prior quarter in 2019, then you qualify. Okay, now you're gonna ask, well, what happens, Leo, if I didn't have any revenue in 2019, but you started before February 15th? So if you started on January 1st to February 15th, 2020, then you can take any quarter in 2020 and compare against quarters in 2020. So if your Q1 2020 was 25% less than Q4 2020, you will qualify. So if you're applying for less than, when comparing the gross receipts, you may use the full calendar year. Now here's another thing. So you may say, well, Leo, it's hard to say quarter over quarter whether I had a loss, but then you can take the entire year. So of course, you won't have any tax returns at this stage in the game for your 2020, but you should be able to look at your financials in your accounting software and be able to pull a 2020 versus 2019 comparison and see if you actually had a 25% or more revenue reduction. All right, so enough of that. So P&Ls will do, in some cases, if you don't have the accounting software, if you can document that for yourself with bank statements, anything that is going to show evidence of revenue loss or revenue reduction. Payroll reports. You have to be able to confirm that you had your business existing before February 15, 2020. So if you get higher payroll, okay, so you are able to use the payroll costs that are higher on either 2019 or 2020. So say for instance, your payroll costs, assuming that you pass the revenue reduction threshold, your payroll records say you had more payroll in 2020 than you did in 2019. And remember, the formula is you're gonna get either 2.5 times or 3.5 times your payroll records. It doesn't matter. Wherever you think you have the highest payroll, use that because you may get more money. So if you have your entire year, you can take your entire 2019 and 20, your entire payroll, and you should be able to evidence that by your 940 or the sum of your 941's quarterly tax payroll reportings to the IRS. You should be able to have some evidence that you can take the whole 940 form and what it's there time divided by 12 is going to give you monthly times 2.5 is going to give you your the number of the dollar amount that you qualify for. You should also have your business documents, your articles of incorporation or W-9. You have to have evidence that you have a bona fide for-profit business or non-profit, but it's got to be a real business. You should be able for any owners to provide personal information, tax returns and statements. Now, if you have those available, great. Now, keep in mind that it's not going to matter much as you're getting your loan, as it will matter a great deal once you're asking for forgiveness. Because if you do not have the proof of what your application had, then you may be subject to lack of forgiveness, and you don't want that. I mean, if you do things right, you should be able to have 100% of everything forgiven. So hopefully this helps you out, and I know that I went through a lot. Feel free to reach out to me. If you still waiting for the big banks to help you, they probably will not be able to help you. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with your PPP loan, I'll be more than happy to assist you. We have a direct channel link to one of the largest issuers of PPP loans in 2020 to the tune of $4 billion, who happens to be a servicer of PPP loans. That's all they do, so you will be in good hands. Thank you so much for watching this video.
Hey, please comment below and let me know if you need help with your PPP loan. I'll be happy to help you. I have the connection, I have the lender who's only specializing in PPP money, and I can help you. Also, if you want to join a community of like-minded, successful entrepreneurs just like you, then join our Facebook group at the link below, where I share weekly tips, strategies, and tactics as how my clients are growing their businesses to 7 figures and beyond.